Correspond, to match or be in agreement. Typically in written communication, her email should correspond with the instructions you received. Correspondence, the exchange of letters, emails, or messages. The correspondence between the two companies was frequent. Correspondent, a person who writes letters or reports for a newspaper or TV network. The correspondent covered the breaking news story. Corresponding, matching or related to something else. The corresponding data in the chart shows a clear trend. Corrode, to slowly eat away or damage, usually by chemical action. The metal fence began to corrode after years of exposure to the elements. Corrupt, to act dishonestly or immorally, often in positions of power. Some politicians have been accused of trying to corrupt the legal system. Cosmic, related to the vast universe or space. The study of cosmic phenomena like black holes is fascinating. Cosmopolitan, having an international or worldly outlook. New York City is known for its cosmopolitan atmosphere. Cozy, comfortably warm and snug. The fireplace made the living room feel cozy on a cold winter evening. Counterbalance, a weight or force that balances another. The counterbalance on the seesaw allowed the children to play safely. Counterfeit, a fake or imitation, often of money or goods. The counterfeit bills were so convincing that even experts were fooled. Counterpart, a person or thing that corresponds to another. The CEO's assistant is the counterpart of the executive in many meetings. Coupon, a voucher or ticket that provides a discount or special offer. She used a coupon to get 20% off her purchase at the store. Courier, a person or service that delivers messages or packages. The courier delivered the important document within hours. Coverage, the extent to which something is included or addressed. The news report provided extensive coverage of the event. Cradle, a small bed or support for a baby. The baby slept peacefully in the cradle. Craft, the skill of making things by hand. She was known for her craft in creating beautiful pottery. Crater, a bowl-shaped depression, often found on the surface of celestial bodies. The moon's surface is covered in craters from meteor impacts. Crease, a line or fold in something, often caused by bending. She ironed the shirt to remove all the creases. Creation, the act of bringing something into existence. The artist's creation was a masterpiece of modern art. Credential, a qualification, certificate, or document proving one's identity or abilities. He presented his credentials to gain access to the secure facility. Credible, worthy of belief or trust. The eyewitness was considered credible by the investigators. Cricket, a popular sport played with a ball and bat. The cricket match lasted for hours and had a thrilling finish. Cripple, to cause severe injury or disability to a person or thing. The accident could cripple his ability to walk. Crisp, firm and easily broken, often used to describe food. The apple had a crisp texture and a sweet taste. Criteria, standards or requirements used for judgment or evaluation. The selection criteria for the job were very strict. Criterion, a specific factor or aspect used to make a judgment. The most important criterion for this award is creativity. Crooked, not straight or bending in a curved or twisted manner. The path through the forest was crooked and difficult to follow. Crop, a cultivated plant grown for food or other uses. Wheat is a common crop in this region. Crouch, to bend down low by bending the knees. The cat would crouch down before pouncing on its prey. Crude, in a natural or raw state, often unrefined. Crude oil is processed to create various petroleum products. Crumb, a small fragment or piece that breaks off from something. She brushed the crumb off the table. Crumble, to break or fall apart into small pieces. The old building began to crumble due to neglect. Crust, the outer, hard layer of bread or the earth's surface. The pizza crust was crispy and delicious. Cube, a three-dimensional shape with 6 equal square sides. She solved the Rubik's Cube puzzle in record time. Cucumber, a green, cylindrical vegetable often used in salads. She sliced the cucumber to add freshness to the salad. Culminate, to reach the highest point or climax. Their hard work would culminate in a grand celebration. Cultivate, to prepare and use land for growing crops. Farmers cultivate the fields to produce food. Cumbersome, difficult to manage or handle due to size or complexity. The large suitcase was cumbersome to carry through the airport. Cumulative, increasing in quantity or effect by successive additions. The cumulative impact of their efforts was impressive. Cunning, clever and deceitful in achieving one's goals. The cunning fox outsmarted the hunters. Cupboard, a cabinet with shelves for storing items. She placed the dishes in the kitchen cupboard. Curl, to form into a spiral or curved shape. Her hair had a natural curl to it. Currency, the money used in a particular country or region. The currency in Japan is the yen. Curriculum, the subjects and content taught in a school or course. The school's curriculum includes math, science, and literature. Curtail, to reduce or limit something. They had to curtail their spending to save money. Curve, a line that bends or deviates from a straight path. The road had a sharp curve ahead. Cushion, a soft object used for support or comfort. He placed a cushion on the chair to make it more comfortable. Custodian, a person responsible for taking care of something. The custodian cleaned the school every evening. Custom, a traditional practice or way of doing things. It's a custom in some cultures to exchange gifts on birthdays. Customary, usual or typical in a particular culture or tradition. It is customary to bow when greeting in that country. Cylinder, a three-dimensional shape with two circular ends. The engine contains several cylinders that move the pistons. Dairy, a place where milk and milk products are produced or processed. We visited the dairy to see how cheese is made. Dam, a barrier built to hold back water or create a reservoir. The dam prevented the river from flooding the town. Damp, slightly wet or moist. The clothes felt damp after being left out in the rain. Dart, to move or throw something suddenly and swiftly. He watched the dart fly towards the dartboard. Dash, to run or move quickly for a short distance. She made a dash for the bus as it was about to leave. Database, a structured collection of data that can be stored and retrieved. The company's database contains customer information. Dazzle, to impress or blind with brightness or skill. The fireworks display dazzled the crowd. Deadlock, a situation where progress is impossible. Due to opposing forces, the negotiation reached a deadlock with no agreement. Dearth, a scarcity or shortage of something. There was a dearth of fresh vegetables in the winter. Debris, scattered fragments or remains of something. After the explosion, debris littered the area. Decade, a period of 10 years. The 1980s was a memorable decade for fashion. Decay, the process of gradual deterioration or rot. Without maintenance, the wooden fence began to decay. Deceive, to mislead or trick someone into believing something false. He tried to deceive her with a clever disguise. Decipher, to decode or figure out the meaning of something. She managed to decipher the ancient script. Declaration, a formal statement or announcement. The president made a declaration of peace. Decline, to decrease or refuse politely. She had to decline the invitation due to prior commitments. Decompose, to break down into simpler substances. Organic matter will decompose and enrich the soil. Decorate, to adorn or enhance the appearance of something. They decorated the room with colorful balloons. Decrease, to make or become smaller or less in quantity. The temperature will decrease as the evening goes on. Decree, an official order or decision issued by authority. The king issued a decree that all citizens must pay taxes. Decrepit, old and weakened due to age or illness. The decrepit building was in need of extensive repairs. Dedicate, to commit time, effort, or oneself to a particular purpose. She decided to dedicate her life to helping others. Educe, to bring out or draw forth something, often knowledge or information. The teacher tried to educe the students' hidden talents. Deduct, to subtract or take away from a total. The accountant will deduct expenses from your income. Deem, to consider or judge in a particular way. They deemed the project a success. Default, to fail to fulfill an obligation or meet a commitment. If you don't pay the loan, you will default on it. Defect, a flaw or imperfection in something. The product was recalled due to a manufacturing defect. Defense, the action of protecting against an attack. The castle had strong walls for defense. Defer, to postpone or delay an action or decision. They decided to defer the meeting until next week. Defiance, open resistance or bold disobedience. Despite the warning, he showed defiance and refused to leave. Deficiency, a lack or shortage of something essential. The doctor diagnosed a deficiency in vitamin C. Deficit, a situation where expenses exceed income. The government is trying to reduce the budget deficit. Defile, to make dirty or impure, often by desecration. The Vandals attempted to defile the historic monument. Definitive, conclusive and serving as the final authority. The court's ruling was definitive and cannot be appealed. Deflate, to reduce the pressure or size of something. He had to deflate the inflatable mattress. Deflect, to cause something to change direction. The mirror deflected the sunlight into the room. Defraud, to deceive or cheat someone for financial gain. The scammer attempted to defraud people through a fake investment scheme. Deft, skillful and quick in one's movements or actions. The chef was deft at preparing intricate dishes. Defy, to openly resist or refuse to obey authority. She chose to defy the unjust law. Degenerate, to deteriorate or decline in quality or morality. Some argue that society is degenerating due to moral decay. Degrade, to lower in rank, status, or quality. His actions will degrade his reputation. Delectable, delightful and pleasing to the senses. Especially taste, the chocolate cake was truly delectable. Delegate, to entrust a task or responsibility to another person. She decided to delegate the project to her team. Delete, to remove or erase something from a computer or record. Please delete the unnecessary files from the folder. Deliberate, to carefully consider or discuss a matter. The jury will deliberate before reaching a verdict. Delinquency, failure to fulfill a duty or obligation. Often in legal terms, the court dealt with cases of juvenile delinquency. Delirium, a state of extreme confusion and disorientation. The fever caused delirium in the patient. Delude, to mislead or deceive someone into believing something false. He tried to delude her with a fabricated story. Deluge, a severe flood or overwhelming amount of something. The heavy rain caused a deluge in the streets. Democracy, a system of government, where citizens have a say in decisions. In a democracy, people vote for their leaders. Demolish, to completely destroy or tear down a building or structure. They had to demolish the old factory to make way for a park. Demonstrate, to show or make something clear through actions or evidence. The scientist will demonstrate the experiment to the class. Denomination, a unit of value in currency or a religious subgroup. The dollar is a denomination of the U.S. currency. Denote, to indicate or be a sign of something. The red light denotes that the machine is off. Dense, having a high concentration or closely packed together. The forest was dense with tall trees. Depart, to leave from a particular place or start a journey. The flight will depart from the airport at noon. Depict, to represent or illustrate something in a picture or words. The painting depicts a serene countryside scene. Deplete, to use up or exhaust a resource or supply. Overfishing can deplete the ocean's fish population. Depletion, the act of using up or reduction in the quantity of something. The depletion of the ozone layer is a global concern. Deplore, to express strong disapproval or regret for something. We deplore the violence that occurred. Depress, to make someone feel sad or discouraged. The news of the accident will depress him. Deprive, to take away or deny someone of something they need or want. Poverty can deprive children of educational opportunities. Derelict, abandoned or in a state of disrepair. The old factory is now a derelict building. Derived, obtained or developed from a source or origin. The word biology is derived from Greek roots. Descend, to move or go downward from a higher place. The hikers will descend the mountain after reaching the peak. Descent, the act of moving or coming down from a higher place. The plane began its descent toward the airport. Designate, to appoint or assign a specific role or status. He was designated as the team captain. Desirable, appealing or worth having or obtaining. A good education is considered desirable for career success. desolate, empty, barren, and devoid of life or activity. The desert appeared desolate with its vast sand dunes. Despair, a feeling of hopelessness or loss of hope. In times of despair, it's important to seek support. Destination, the place to which a person or thing is going. Our final destination is the tropical island. Destined, having a future or fate that is predetermined. She felt that she was destined for greatness. Detach, to separate or disconnect something from a larger whole. You can detach the keyboard from the tablet. Detain, to keep someone in custody or under restraint. The police will detain the suspect for questioning. Detect, to discover or identify something through observation or analysis. The security system can detect motion. Deter, to discourage or prevent someone from doing something. The warning sign should deter trespassers. Detergent, a cleaning agent used to remove dirt and stains. She used detergent to wash the dirty dishes. Deteriorate, to become progressively worse in quality or condition. Neglect can cause a building to deteriorate. Determination, a firm decision to achieve a goal. Her determination led her to overcome many obstacles. Detest, to feel intense dislike or hatred for something. She would detest having to work on weekends. Detriment, harm or damage caused by something. Lack of sleep can be a detriment to your health. Detrimental, causing harm or damage. Smoking is detrimental to your health. Devastate, to destroy or cause severe damage or emotional distress. The earthquake devastated the town. Devastating, causing severe damage or destruction. The hurricane had a devastating impact on the coastline. Deviate, to depart from an established course or path. He chose to deviate from the traditional route. Devise, to invent or create a plan, method, or idea. She devised a clever solution to the problem. Devote, to dedicate time, effort, or resources to a particular purpose. He decided to devote his life to charity work. Devour, to eat or consume something quickly and eagerly. The hungry child would devour the chocolate. Diagnose, to identify a medical condition through examination. The doctor will diagnose the patient's illness. Diagram, a visual representation of information or a process. She used a diagram to explain the concept. Dialect, a regional or social variety of a language. With unique features, the southern dialect had distinct pronunciation. Diameter, the distance across the center of a circular object. The diameter of the circle is 10 inches. Dictate, to give orders or commands. The general will dictate the strategy for the mission. Differ, to be unlike or distinct from something else. Their opinions differ on this matter. Differentiate, to distinguish, or recognize the differences between things. Can you differentiate between these two species of birds? Diffuse, to spread or disperse over a wide area. The aroma of freshly baked bread diffused through the kitchen. Digest, to break down food in the stomach and absorb nutrients. The digestive system helps us digest the food we eat. Digital, relating to or using technology that involves binary code. Digital cameras capture images electronically. Dilapidated, in a state of disrepair or ruin due to neglect. The old house was dilapidated and needed extensive repairs. Dilated, enlarged or expanded. Often referring to pupils or blood vessels, the doctor noticed the patient's dilated pupils. Dilemma, a difficult choice between two equally undesirable options. She faced a dilemma when choosing between two job offers. Diligent, showing careful and persistent effort in one's work. Her diligent research led to a breakthrough discovery. Diluted, made weaker or less concentrated. By adding another substance, the juice was diluted with water to reduce its sweetness. Dim, lacking in brightness or clarity. The room grew dim as the sun set. Diminish, to make or become smaller or less significant. His influence began to diminish over time. Dine, to have a meal, especially in the evening. They decided to dine at their favorite restaurant. Dingy, dirty, dark, and unclean. The basement had a dingy, unpleasant atmosphere. Diploma, a certificate awarded for completing a course of study. She proudly displayed her diploma on the wall. Diplomat, an official representing a country in international relations. The diplomat negotiated a peace treaty. Diplomatic, relating to the skillful handling of international relations. The ambassador used diplomatic language in negotiations. Disabled, having a physical or mental condition that limits abilities. The wheelchair ramp is designed for disabled access. Disarray, a state of confusion or disorder. The sudden change in plans caused disarray. Discard, to throw away or get rid of something no longer needed. He decided to discard the old magazines. Discern, to perceive or recognize something with clarity. It was difficult to discern the distant figure. Discharged, released or let go, often from a job or hospital. The patient was discharged from the hospital. Disclose, to reveal or make known information that was previously secret. The whistleblower decided to disclose the confidential documents. Discord, disagreement or conflict between people. The discord among team members affected their performance. Discrepancy, a lack of consistency or agreement between things. There was a discrepancy between the two reports. Discrete, separate and distinct from others. Each unit has a discrete function in the system. Discriminate, to treat people unfairly. Based on their characteristics, discrimination on the basis of race is unacceptable. Disdain, a feeling of contempt or strong dislike. He looked at her with disdain after her rude comment. Disgust, a strong feeling of revulsion or extreme dislike. The sight of spoiled food filled her with disgust. Dismay, a sudden loss of courage or confidence. The unexpected news filled her with dismay. Dismiss, to reject or disregard something as unimportant. He chose to dismiss the criticism and move forward. Dispatch, to send off or deal with a task or message promptly. The courier will dispatch the package today. Dispel, to drive away or remove something, often a misconception. She hoped to dispel the rumors with the truth. Disperse, to scatter or spread out in various directions. The crowd began to disperse after the event. Displace, to take the place of something or someone. The new technology will displace older methods. disposed, inclined, or willing to do something. She was disposed to help those in need. Disposition, a person's inherent qualities or tendency of mind. Her cheerful disposition brightened the room. Dispute, to argue or debate about something. They decided to resolve the dispute through mediation. Disregard, to ignore or pay no attention to something. The teacher asked the students not to disregard the rules. Disrupt, to interrupt or cause disorder or chaos. The loud noise disrupted the meeting. Dissertation, a long essay or research project. Often for a degree, she defended her dissertation on environmental conservation. Dissipated, wasted or squandered, often referring to resources. His fortune was dissipated through reckless spending. Dissolve, to become liquid or break down into smaller parts. The sugar will dissolve in hot water. Distend, to expand or stretch beyond normal limits. His stomach began to distend after a large meal. Distinct, clearly different or separate from others. Each species has distinct characteristics. Distinction, a clear difference or recognition of excellence. She received a distinction for her outstanding work. Distinguish, to recognize or identify differences between things. His unique style of painting distinguishes him as an artist. Distort, to alter the true meaning or shape of something. The funhouse mirrors distort your reflection. Distribute, to hand out or share something among a group. Volunteers will distribute food to the homeless. Disturbance, a disruption or interruption of normal activity. The loud music caused a disturbance in the neighborhood. Diverse, composed of different elements or qualities. The city is known for its diverse population. Diversion, an alternative route or activity to alleviate boredom. The park provides a diversion for children. Divert, to change the direction or course of something. The river was diverted to prevent flooding. Dividend, a sum of money paid to shareholders. As a share of profits, investors receive dividends from their stock holdings. Doctrine, a set of beliefs or principles. Often in a religion or ideology, the doctrine of nonviolence promotes peaceful protest. Dole, a portion or share, often of food or aid. The charity provided a dole of food to the needy. Domain, a specific area of knowledge, activity, or control. Mathematics is a domain of study. Dome, a rounded roof or ceiling often shaped like half a sphere. The mosque's dome is an architectural marvel. Dominant, exercising control or influence over others. The alpha wolf is the dominant member of the pack. Doom, a terrible fate or destruction that is inevitable. The ancient prophecy foretold their doom. Dormant, in a state of rest or inactivity. The volcano had been dormant for centuries. Doubtful, uncertain or skeptical about something. His explanation seemed doubtful to the jury. Doubtless, without a doubt or certainly. She will doubtless succeed in her career. Downpour, a heavy and sudden rainfall. The downpour soaked everyone in seconds. Doze, to sleep lightly or take a short nap. He would often doze off during long meetings. Drainage, the system or process of removing excess water. Proper drainage is essential to prevent flooding. Drastic, severe or extreme in action or effect. They had to take drastic measures to solve the crisis. Drawback, a disadvantage or negative aspect of something. The only drawback of the job is the long commute. Dread, a strong feeling of fear or anxiety. She felt a sense of dread before the exam. Dreadful, extremely bad or unpleasant. The weather was dreadful with heavy storms. Dreary, dull, bleak, and lacking in interest or cheerfulness. The winter days can be quite dreary. Drench, to soak or saturate something with liquid. The sudden rainstorm drenched them on their walk. Drift, to be carried along by currents of air or water. The boat began to drift aimlessly in the ocean. Drought, a prolonged period of abnormally low rainfall. The drought led to water shortages in the region. Drowsed, in a state of light sleep or drowsiness. The warm afternoon made her feel drowsy. Drudgery, hard, boring, and repetitive work. The daily drudgery of office tasks was exhausting. Dual, involving two parts or elements. The car had dual exhaust pipes. Dub, to give a name or nickname to someone or something. He was dubbed the king of comedy. Dubious, uncertain or doubtful about an outcome. The success of the project seemed dubious. Duly, in a proper and expected manner. The report was duly submitted on time. Duplicated, copied or reproduced exactly. The document was duplicated for distribution. Duration, the length of time that something continues or lasts. The duration of the movie is 2 hours. Dwarfed, made to seem much smaller or less significant. The skyscraper dwarfed the surrounding buildings. Dwindled, became gradually smaller or reduced in number. The population of the endangered species dwindled. Dynamic, energetic, active, and constantly changing. The dynamic CEO transformed the company. Earnest, sincere and genuine in one's intentions or efforts. His earnest apology showed his remorse. Eccentric, unconventional or odd in behavior or style. The eccentric artist had a unique perspective. Echo, a sound that is reflected off surfaces and heard again. Her voice echoed in the empty room. Eclipse, the total or partial obscuring of one celestial body. By another, the moon's eclipse was a stunning natural event. Ecology, the study of how organisms interact with their environment. Ecology is essential for understanding ecosystems. Economic, related to the production, distribution, and use of wealth. Economic growth is crucial for a nation's development. Economical, using resources efficiently to save money. Buying in bulk is an economical way to shop. Economics, the social science that studies the economy. He has a degree in economics. Eddy, a circular current, often in water or air. The river had a dangerous eddy. Edible, safe and suitable for eating. All the vegetables in the garden are edible. edited, revised, or corrected for publication. The edited manuscript is ready for printing. Editorial, relating to the content or opinion of an editor. The editorial section of the newspaper contains opinion pieces. Efficient, achieving maximum productivity. With minimum wasted effort, the new machine is more efficient in production. Eject, to force something or someone out, often forcefully. The pilot had to eject from the crashing plane. Eke, to supplement or make something last with difficulty. They had to eke out a meager living. Elaborate, involving many intricate details or complexities. The plan was to elaborate for such a simple task. Elapse, to pass or go by, often referring to time. Several hours had elapsed before they found help. Elastic, stretchable and able to return to its original shape. Rubber bands are elastic and can stretch. Elated, extremely happy and joyful. She was elated to hear the good news. Elbow, the joint connecting the upper and lower arms. He accidentally bumped his elbow on the table. Elderly, old or advanced in age. Typically referring to older adults, the elderly couple celebrated their 50th anniversary. Electrician, a person skilled in electrical work. The electrician repaired the faulty wiring. Electronic, relating to devices or technology that use electricity. Smartphones are electronic devices. Electronics, the branch of physics. Dealing with electrical circuits, he studied electronics in college. Elegant, graceful and stylish in appearance or manner. She looked elegant in her evening gown. Elementary, basic or fundamental in nature. The elementary principles of mathematics. Elevate, to raise or lift something to a higher position. The platform will elevate you to the next level. Elicit, to draw out or evoke a reaction, information, or response. Her speech elicited a standing ovation. Eligible, meeting the criteria or requirements for something. He was eligible for the scholarship. Elite, a select group or the best of a category. The elite athletes competed in the final round. Eloquent, fluent and persuasive in speaking or writing. Her eloquent speech moved the audience to tears. Embargo, a government order restricting trade with another country. The embargo had a significant impact on the economy. Embark, to begin a journey or venture, often by ship or plane. They will embark on a world tour next month. Embassy, a diplomatic office representing one country in another. The embassy provides assistance to citizens abroad. Embed, to fix or implant something firmly into a surrounding mass. The jewels were embedded in the crown. Embody, to represent or exemplify a particular quality or idea. The hero in the story embodies bravery. Emigrate, to leave one's country to settle in another. Many people emigrate in search of better opportunities. Eminent, respected and distinguished in a particular field. The eminent scientist received a Nobel Prize. Emphasis, special importance or attention given to something. The emphasis in the presentation was on innovation. Emphasize, to give special importance or focus to something. She wanted to emphasize the importance of teamwork. Empirical, based on observation and evidence rather than theory. Their findings were based on empirical research. Employment, the state of being employed or having a job. Employment opportunities have increased in recent years. Enable, to make it possible for something to happen. Technology can enable communication across long distances. Enclose, to surround or close in on all sides. Please enclose your resume with the application. Enclosure, an area that is sealed off or fenced. The park has an enclosure for rare animals. Encyclopedia, a comprehensive reference work with articles on various topics. The encyclopedia contains information on a wide range of subjects. Endeavor, to make a determined effort to achieve something. They will endeavor to complete the project on time. Endorse, to publicly support or approve of something. The celebrity endorsed the new product. Endow, to provide with a quality or gift. The scholarship was endowed by a generous donor. Endurance, the ability to withstand hardship or sustain an effort. Marathon runners need great endurance. Energetic, full of energy and enthusiasm. The energetic child always keeps us busy. Enforce, to ensure compliance with a rule or law. The police will enforce traffic regulations. Engage, to participate or become involved in an activity. She likes to engage in outdoor sports. Engrave, to carve, cut, or etch a design or writing into a surface. The artist will engrave his name on the sculpture. Engross, to absorb all the attention or interest of someone. The gripping novel engrossed her for hours. Enhance, to improve or increase the quality or value of something. Good lighting can enhance the atmosphere of a room. Enlighten, to provide knowledge or insight to someone. The documentary will enlighten viewers about the topic. Inquire, to ask for information or investigate. She will inquire about available job openings. Inquiry, a formal request for information or investigation. They submitted an inquiry about the product. Enrich, to make something richer or more abundant. Reading can enrich your vocabulary. Enroll, to sign up or officially register for something. She will enroll in a fitness class. Enrollment, the process of registering for a program or course. Enrollment for the workshop is now open. Ensemble, a group of performers or objects that work together. The musical ensemble played beautifully. Ensue, to happen or occur as a result of something. Chaos ensued after the announcement. Ensure, to make certain that something will happen or be the case. Lock the door to ensure security. Entail, to involve as a necessary consequence. The project will entail long hours of work. Entangle, to become twisted or caught in something. The fishing line became entangled in the branches. Enterprise, a business or company engaged in commercial activity. She started her own enterprise. Enthusiastic, showing great excitement and interest. The team was enthusiastic about the upcoming game. Entitle, to give someone the right to do something. Winning the contest will entitle you to a prize. Entity, a distinct and separate thing or being. The corporation is a legal entity. Entreat, to earnestly request or beg for something. She will entreat him for forgiveness. Entrepreneur, a person who starts and manages a business. Many entrepreneurs have successful startups. Envisage, to imagine or foresee a future event or situation. She could envisage a world without pollution. Enzyme, a protein that catalyzes chemical reactions. In living organisms, enzymes play a crucial role in digestion. Ephemeral, lasting for a very short time. The beauty of the sunset is ephemeral. Epidemic, a widespread outbreak of disease. The influenza epidemic affected thousands. Epic, a particular period of time in history. The Renaissance was an epoch of cultural revival. Equate, to consider two things to be equal or equivalent. Some people equate wealth with happiness. Equation, a mathematical statement showing equality. Solving the equation requires algebraic skills. Equator, an imaginary line circling the Earth's midpoint. The equator divides the Earth into hemispheres. Equilibrium, a state of balance between opposing forces. The market reached a state of equilibrium. Equip, to provide with the necessary tools or equipment. The hikers were well equipped for their journey. Equitable, fair and just, treating everyone equally. An equitable distribution of resources. Equity, ownership interest in a company or property. They have a 50% equity stake in the business. Equivalent, equal in value, amount, or meaning. A dollar bill is equivalent to 100 cents. Equivocal, ambiguous or open to multiple interpretations. His response was equivocal and unclear. Eradicate, to completely destroy or eliminate something. The goal is to eradicate the disease. Erect, to build or set up something in an upright position. They will erect a new monument in the park. Erode, to wear away or gradually destroy by natural forces. The river eroded the rocks over time. Erosion, the process of wearing away or gradual destruction. Coastal erosion is a major concern. Erratic, unpredictable and irregular in behavior or movement. His erratic driving was a safety hazard. Erroneous, containing errors or mistakes. The report contained erroneous information. Erupt, to burst out suddenly and violently. The volcano is expected to erupt soon. Escalate, to increase rapidly or intensify. The conflict in the region continued to escalate. Escalator, a moving staircase used to transport people between floors. Take the escalator to the second floor. Essential, absolutely necessary or fundamental. Water is essential for human survival. Estimate, a rough calculation of the value, size, or quantity of something. They made an estimate of the project's cost. Ethic, a set of moral principles or values. Honesty and integrity are part of his work ethic. Ethnic, relating to a particular cultural, racial, or national group. The neighborhood is known for its ethnic diversity. Etiquette, the customary code of polite behavior in society. Good etiquette is important in formal settings. Evacuate, to remove people from a dangerous area for safety. The hurricane forced residents to evacuate. Evade, to avoid or escape from something, often skillfully. He managed to evade capture. Evaluate, to assess or judge the quality or value of something. Teachers evaluate students' performance. Evaporate, to change from a liquid to a vapor or gas. The puddle will evaporate in the sun. Eventual, happening at some point in the future, with practice. Eventual success is possible. Everlasting, lasting forever or for a very long time. Their love was said to be everlasting. Evict, to force someone to leave a property or place. The landlord had to evict the non-paying tenants. Evident, clearly visible or obvious, his. Evoke, to bring a feeling, memory, or response to mind. The painting evoked a sense of nostalgia. Evolution, the gradual development or change of something over time. The theory of evolution explains the diversity of species. Evolve, to develop or change gradually over time. Technology continues to evolve rapidly. Exacerbate, to make a problem or situation worse. His comments only served to exacerbate the tension. Exaggerate, to overstate or magnify something beyond reality. He tends to exaggerate his achievements. Exasperate, to irritate or provoke someone intensely. Her constant complaining would exasperate anyone. Excavate, to dig or remove earth or material from a place. Archaeologists excavated ancient artifacts. Exceed, to go beyond a limit or surpass a standard. The company's profits exceeded expectations. Excel, to be exceptionally good at something. She excels in mathematics and science. Exceptional, unusually good or outstanding. His performance was exceptional. Excerpt, a short passage or segment taken from a longer work. The book includes an excerpt from a famous speech. Excess, an amount that is more than what is needed or normal. Excess sugar can be harmful to your health. Exclude, to deliberately leave out or not include. The invitation excluded certain guests. Exclusively, solely or only for a particular group or purpose. This club is exclusively for members. Excrement, waste matter expelled from the body. Proper sanitation is essential to manage excrement. Excursion, a short trip or outing for a specific purpose. They went on an excursion to the mountains. Execute, to carry out or accomplish a task or plan. The team will execute the project according to the plan. Exemplify, to serve as a typical example of something. His dedication exemplifies hard work. Exempt, to be free or excused from a duty or obligation. Some organizations are exempt from taxes. Exert, to apply force or effort to achieve a result. She had to exert herself to lift the heavy box. Exhaust, to use up completely or drain of energy. The long hike exhausted them. Exhilarate, to make someone feel very happy or lively. The victory exhilarated the team. Exhort, to strongly urge or encourage someone to do something. The coach will exhort the team to give their best. Exile, to banish or force someone to live away from their home. The dissident was in exile for years. Exorbitant, unreasonably high in price or cost. The restaurant's prices are exorbitant. Expand, to become larger in size or scope. The company plans to expand its operations. Expedient, convenient and practical. Often at the expense of ethics, his decision was expedient but morally questionable. Expel, to force someone to leave a place or group. The school may expel students for misconduct. Expend, to spend money or use resources. They will expend a significant budget on the project. Expenditure, the action of spending money or resources. The company tracks its expenditures carefully. Expertise, specialized knowledge or skill in a particular field. Her expertise in physics is renowned. Expire, to come to an end or cease to be valid. The lease will expire next month. Explicit, clearly and openly expressed or stated. The contract had explicit terms and conditions. Exploit, to take advantage of someone or something unfairly. The company should not exploit its workers. Explosive, capable of causing a sudden and violent release of energy. The fireworks display was filled with explosive colors. Export, to send goods or services to another country for sale. The country exports agricultural products. Expulsion, the act of forcing someone to leave a group or organization. His expulsion from the club was a consequence of his behavior. Exquisite, extremely beautiful or of exceptional quality. The jewelry was an exquisite work of art. Extend, to make something longer or more extensive. They decided to extend the deadline for the project. Extent, the degree to which something has spread or occurred. The extent of the damage was extensive. Exterior, the outer surface or appearance of something. The exterior of the building was well maintained. Terminate, to bring something to an end or conclude. The contract will terminate next month. External, relating to the outside or outer part of something. External factors can influence the outcome. Extinct, no longer in existence or living. Dinosaurs are extinct species. Extinguish, to put out or quench, often referring to fires. Firefighters work to extinguish the blaze. Extort, to obtain something by force or threats. The criminals tried to extort money from the victim. Extract, to remove or take out something, often with effort. She will extract the key from the lock. Exuberant, full of energy, enthusiasm, and excitement. The children were exuberant at the birthday party. Fabricate, to create or construct something, often with deception. He tried to fabricate a story to explain his absence. Facet, a particular aspect or feature of something. This diamond has many facets. Facilitate, to make a process or task easier. Technology can facilitate communication. Faculty, the teaching or administrative staff at an institution. The faculty members are experts in their fields. Fade, to gradually become less visible or intense. The colors of the painting began to fade. Fallacy, a mistaken belief or deceptive argument. The idea that money buys happiness is a fallacy. Fallible, capable of making mistakes or being wrong. We are all fallible and can err. Falter, to hesitate or waver in one's actions or speech. His confidence began to falter during the presentation. Famine, a severe shortage of food leading to hunger and starvation. The famine in the region was devastating. Fanatic, a person with extreme and uncritical enthusiasm. The sports fanatic never missed a game. Fare, the cost of a journey or transportation ticket. The train fare to the city was affordable. Farewell, an expression of good wishes when parting. They bid a tearful farewell to their friend. Fascinate, to attract and hold someone's attention. The mysterious book fascinated her. Fastidious, very attentive to and concerned about details. She is fastidious about cleanliness. Fatuous, silly, foolish, and lacking good sense. His fatuous remarks made everyone laugh. Feasible, possible and practical to achieve. The plan is feasible with the right resources. Feast, a large and elaborate meal, often for celebration. They prepared a feast for the holiday. Feat, an impressive or remarkable achievement. Climbing Mount Everest is a remarkable feat. Feature, a distinctive attribute or aspect of something. The main feature of the park is the lake. Federation, a group of states or organizations united for a common purpose. The European Union is a federation of countries. Feeble, lacking strength or physical power. His feeble attempts to lift the weight were unsuccessful. Feedback, information or responses about a product or performance. The customer provided valuable feedback. Fellowship, a friendly association or community of people. She enjoyed the fellowship of her colleagues. Fend, to defend or resist something. They had to fend off the attackers. Ferocious, extremely fierce, violent, or aggressive. The ferocious storm caused widespread damage. Fertile, able to produce abundant crops or offspring. The fertile soil yielded a bountiful harvest. Fervent, showing passionate intensity or enthusiasm. The fans had a fervent devotion to their team. Fester, to become progressively worse or more intense. Ignoring the issue allowed it to fester. Fetter, a chain or shackle used to restrain someone. The prisoner's fetters were removed upon release. Feud, a prolonged and bitter quarrel or dispute. The family feud lasted for generations. Fiber, a thread or filament from which textile materials are made. Cotton and wool are natural fibers. Fickle, likely to change one's mind or opinions frequently. Her fickle nature made it hard to predict her decisions. Fidelity, loyalty and faithfulness to a person, cause, or belief. Their marriage was built on trust and fidelity. Fierce, extremely intense or aggressive in behavior. The fierce competition pushed everyone to their limits. Filter, a device or material used to remove impurities. The water filter ensures clean drinking water. Filth, dirt, foul matter, or impurities. The alley was filled with filth and garbage. Finance, the management of money and monetary resources. Finance plays a crucial role. Finite, having limits or bounds, not infinite. Time is a finite resource. Fixture, a permanent or fixed piece of equipment. The lamp is a fixture in the living room. Flabby, soft and loose, lacking firmness. He started exercising to tone his flabby muscles. Flake, a small, thin piece or fragment. Snowflakes fell gently from the sky. Flap, a flat, hinged piece that can be moved to open or close something. The bird's wings flapped as it took off. Flare, a sudden and intense burst of light or flame. The flare in the night sky was breathtaking. Flask, a container with a narrow neck, often used for liquids. She carried a flask of hot tea on her hike. Flatter, to praise or compliment someone insincerely. He tried to flatter her to win her favor. Flaunt, to show off or display something ostentatiously. He liked to flaunt his wealth. Flavor, the distinctive taste or flavor of a food or drink. Vanilla is a popular flavor for ice cream. Flaw, a defect or imperfection in something. The diamond had a tiny flaw. Flee, to run away from a place or danger. They had to flee from the approaching storm. Fleeting, passing quickly and not lasting long. Their encounter was but a fleeting moment. Flexible, capable of bending or adapting easily. Yoga helps improve flexibility. Flicker, to burn or shine unsteadily in a wavering manner. The candle's flame flickered in the breeze. Flirt, to behave playfully or amorous with someone. She liked to flirt with her coworkers. Flock, a group of birds or animals that gathered together. A flock of geese flew overhead. Flour, a powdery substance made from grinding grains. Flour is a key ingredient in baking. Flourish, to thrive, grow, or prosper vigorously. The business began to flourish after the expansion. Fluctuate, to change or vary continually. Prices of stocks can fluctuate daily. Fluent, able to express oneself easily and articulately. She is fluent in 3 languages. Fluff, soft and light material, often used as padding. The pillow was filled with fluffy fluff. Flutter, to move rapidly with light, quick motions. The butterfly fluttered its wings. Flux, a continuous or constant flow or change. The flux of information can be overwhelming. Flyover, a road or bridge that crosses over another. The highway has a flyover at the intersection. Foam, a mass of small bubbles formed on the surface of a liquid. The waves left foam on the beach. Foil, a thin, flexible material used to wrap or cover things. She used foil to wrap the leftovers. Forecast, a prediction of future events or weather conditions. The weather forecast says it will rain tomorrow. Foremost, most important or prominent in a particular group. He was the foremost expert in the field. Forerunner, something that precedes or comes before another. The invention of the wheel was a forerunner of modern transportation. Foresee, to anticipate or predict something in advance. She could foresee the challenges ahead. Forfeit, to lose or surrender something as a penalty. He had to forfeit the game due to a rule violation. Forge, to create or make something, often through hard work. They forged a strong bond over the years. Format, the arrangement or layout of something. The report followed a specific format. Formidable, inspiring fear or respect due to size or strength. The army faced a formidable opponent. Formulate, to create or develop a plan, idea, or concept. They needed to formulate a strategy for the project. Forthcoming, about to happen or be revealed soon. The forthcoming book will be released next month. Fortify, to strengthen or reinforce with defensive works. They fortified the castle walls against invaders. Fortnight, a period of 2 weeks. They planned to complete the project in a fortnight. Forum, a place or platform for discussion and exchange of ideas. The online forum was filled with diverse opinions. Fountain, a source of water that flows upward. The city's central fountain is a popular gathering spot. Fraction, a part of a whole. Usually expressed in a numerical form, 1/4 is a fraction of the whole. Fracture, a break or crack in a hard object or material. His leg suffered a fracture in the accident. Fragment, a small, broken piece of something larger. The shattered glass lay in fragments on the floor. Fragrance, a pleasant or sweet smell. The fragrance of flowers filled the garden. Frail, physically weak and delicate. The elderly woman was becoming increasingly frail. Framework, a basic structure or foundation. The framework of the building was made of steel. Frantic, wildly excited or worried due to fear or anxiety. She was in a frantic search for her lost keys. Fraught, filled with, often referring to negative emotions. The situation was fraught with tension. Freight, goods transported in bulk by truck, train, or ship. The freight was loaded onto the cargo ship. Fret, to worry or be anxious about something. He would often fret about his exams. Friction, the resistance to motion. When two objects rub against each other. The friction between the tires and the road slowed the car down. Fringe, an outer edge or border of something. The fringe of the forest was dense with vegetation. Frontier, the outer edge or boundary of a region or territory. Explorers ventured into the uncharted frontier. Frost, a thin layer of ice that forms on surfaces. The frost on the windows melted as the sun rose. Frown, to turn one's eyebrows downward to show displeasure. His frown indicated his disapproval. Frugal, economical and avoiding unnecessary expenses. They led a frugal lifestyle to save money. Fruition, the realization or achievement of a plan or goal. Their hard work finally came to fruition. Frustrate, to prevent or hinder the achievement of a goal. The constant setbacks began to frustrate him. Fuel, material used to produce energy, especially for combustion. Gasoline is a common fuel for cars. Fugitive, a person who has escaped from custody or is on the run. The fugitive was captured by the police. Fulfill, to complete or carry out a task or duty. He wanted to fulfill his lifelong dream. Fullness, the state of being filled to capacity or completeness. The fullness of the theater indicated a sold-out show. Fume, smoke, vapor, or gas emitted as a result of combustion. The fume from the factory's chimney polluted the air. Fundamental, essential or basic to the core. Respect for others is a fundamental principle. Funnel, a cone-shaped utensil used to direct liquids into a container. She used a funnel to pour oil into the bottle. Furnace, a device for heating a building or melting metal. The furnace kept the house warm during the winter. Furnish, to provide or supply something. They will furnish the apartment with new furniture. Furthermore, in addition, moreover. The study found that exercise improves health. Furthermore, it boosts mood. Fury, extreme anger or intense violence. His fury was unleashed in a fit of rage.